Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. Burr from the Kimball Library, and it's time for another craft, and I've got one too. This time, because it's cold and wintry, I thought we could talk a little bit about polar bears. And this is a polar bear puppet that I've made out of paper. That's all it is. Lots of fun to do too. And it will take just a few minutes. And you can put your hand in it. You can make him walk. You can put him on the ice. You can slide him down the snow. Whatever polar bears would like to do in your mind, you could do it with these little puppets. I think they're fun. So let's begin. I've started with a piece of white paper. This is a little bit heavier, but you could use a regular white copy paper too. And I've cut a piece maybe as wide as my hand, so that I think that's a good width for the body of our polar bear. And here he is, sitting right on top of the books. And we're going to take this paper on a flat surface, and we're going to fold it in one side to the other until it looks like it's even. And then just make a little crease on either side. So it looks like it might be in 3 pieces. And then what we'll do is take some glue and glue this flap so that it's closed. Or you can use tape as well. I think I'll use tape today. And I'm going to put that right along the bottom and seal that in. So that's what it looks like, just like that. Next, we need to make the head. And the head is simply, as you can see, a big circle. So we'll have one bigger circle for the head, and 1, 2, and back here is a little tail. 3 circles for the ears and the tail. So let's do that. And I've just made them by hand on my paper, and then maybe the size that you would like, or you could take a glass like this and make your head however you would like to do it to get a nice round face. And then we need to make one big face, and as I said, 3 circles for the ears and the tail. So there are mine. I've just drawn them with my pencil. They look pretty good. I think they'll work. Then we cut them out. And we're going to have to put the face decoration on so it will be easy to stick on and it will be all done. And we won't have to work it. There. So I've taken a black pencil or a crayon. I'm going to use a marker, and I'm going to draw 2 great big eyes. And then put big ones in the center, like that. Next comes his nose, and bears have large black noses. They are great sniffers, and they can smell danger coming from a long way. So we need to make a big nose. And then, of course, make our little mouth with a smile. I always like the smile. And there's my little face. Next, we need to cut the ears. 2 more circles. After you've drawn them, this is good cutting practice too for you, for little hands. And they don't have to be perfect, of course. But we need to make all of our circles. I'm cutting the tail and 2 eyes and 2 ears. Do you know that a polar bear can swim at least 100 miles at one time without stopping? I can't believe it. That is so long. When you think of swimming in your pool and going 100 miles, my gosh, they love the swimming in the water. 2 ears, 1 tail. So on the ears, I'm going to take a little glue, and I'm going to just put half of the ear showing. We'll put half of the glue on the ear and put it right there for that bear. And then the other one. So part of his ear is showing and part of his ear is covered up. I think I used my tail by mistake, but I will fix that. There we go. 2 ears. And then we need to put a little bit of black around them, just so they're reminded that they are his little ears. 1 on either side. There they are. He's looking like a polar bear, isn't he? And now we need to attach those to our little shape that we started with. So on the front, where one of the creases are, just above that, we're going to paste our face. But we only need to put glue up maybe as high as his nose, all across, so he sticks. Half of him sticks, and the other half will stay up like that. So I'm putting glue all on the bottom of his face and up to his nose. And then I'm going to put him on the end of one side, one crease. That will be the front of my polar bear. Now on this other end, on the top, just the back of his head, we're going to have to put his little tail so it can stick up in the air because they're just tiny. We're just going to have it show a little bit because they definitely have a nice tail. There it is, right there. So we have a little tail and our polar bear face. Now we just have to do his paws and his legs. And these are strips of paper that I have just taken and made a little bit of shorter by folding them. So I have this little strip of paper here that's left of my paper. And I think I'll just cut 4 legs. Nice and chubby, so they have to be, you don't want them too skinny because polar bears are big and fluffy and they need nice sturdy legs and paws. So I've made 4 legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the ends of each leg, I'm going to just clip off that flat part. I'm just going to make it round a little bit, a little curve like that. That will certainly look like his paw. And we'll know where to put it. There's the other 2. Then I'll take my my crayon or my marker, and I'm going to make some marks, 3 like that. So now for sure we know it's his paw. And I'll do that on all 4 of my pieces. right down where the paw is. Just like that. So now we just have to fold them a little bit. And I did that by folding the paw up and then back and then up just a little bit. So it looks like that. And the end, opposite the paw, is where we'll put our glue on that little flap. We have to do every foot, every paw, over and under and over and under. There's another one. It's good to practice folding too. There's another one. So we have 4 done. Now we just have to take our glue on the very top flap, and then we're going to hold our polar bear toward us. And right at the bottom of that crease, we're going to put on one side his legs. Make sure that his paws show. Then we'll do another one on the other side. Right at that crease. He's got 2 legs, 2 paws, and now we'll turn it around so that we can see his tail, and we'll put them on the back. Make sure that you put the paws facing the face too, because you want them all to look nice. This one will go here, right at the end of the other fold, and one more. You could use tape, of course, but it only takes a little bit of glue. So there we are. We have a nice little polar bear puppet. Here are his legs and his paws. And here's the back and the front. And you can put your hand right in there. And you'll see that he'll be good for play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4 legs. In case he wants to lie down. We have 3 of them now. A nice little family. A mother polar bear usually has 2 or 3 little cubs. That would be nice to make a family. A bigger one and 2 little babies. Okay. You could also, if you have some at home, look, I have all of these googly eyes. You could use googly eyes if you'd like to, but I like the regular black eyes. I think they work just as well. So here we are with 3 polar bears and a few books that you might want to look at too. Follow the polar bears. Here's another one that talks all about polar bears and how they live out in the freezing cold on the ice. Look at that big nose, good for sniffing. And here's another one that's fun to read. This is a rescue story about Red Knit Cat Girl to the rescue. And she leads a polar bear that got lost in the forest. They don't belong there. But she got him home safe and sound to his mother in the north. And here's another one too. The polar bears are hungry. So stop into the library, get a polar bear book, make a polar bear yourself. See you next week.